Hey, what's up? It's Paul from Guitar World, and today we're going to be checking out an amazing new pedal from Walrus Audio. It's from their Mako series. It's the D1 high-fidelity stereo delay. Let's check it out. Walrus Audio is known for making exceptional stomp boxes, and this brand new delay is without a doubt an amazing delay pedal. They call it a high-fidelity stereo delay, and it is that and so much more. I like to call it more of an extremely textural delay, where you can really just create an amazing amount of different soundscapes, and of course more of your traditional delays. It looks like it has a lot of knobs, but it's extremely easy to use, and there's a lot to it. So let's dig right in. I'll take you through how each knob works and all the little mini switches as well. As I mentioned before, it's called the high-fidelity stereo delay, but I'm not running it in stereo. However, since we're talking about that, let's just talk about all the outputs. Obviously, you have your mono input and output, and of course, there's the left and right output in case you need to go stereo. So that's taken care of. Power adapter, it also has MIDI ins and outs at the top of the pedal. The great thing about this pedal, it stores up to 9 different presets, and more about that in a little bit, through this switch and using both the foot switches. But if you are so inclined, if you want to get up to 128 presets, and as they say, good luck with that, you can use the MIDI in and out over here, and so really just create an amazing amount of delays here. Let's get back to the main controls here. You have your traditional control of a time knob, obviously, which sets the delay time. A repeat knob, of course, which sets the amount of repeats. Your mix control here, which sets the ratio between your dry signal and the affected repeats. Unity gain is somewhere between 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock, as you can see here. And if you move it all the way fully clockwise, then all you'll hear is just the delay repeats. Below here is where it starts to get interesting. In the middle over here, the D1 delay has 5 delay programs. So over here, what you would think would be a rotary switch, it's not. It's actually just a smooth tapered switch. And you actually hear how the delays change as you go through each delay program. So we have delays for a digital delay, a mod delay, a vintage delay, a dual delay, and finally a reverse delay. Each one is custom tuned, incredible fidelity on each one, and you'll hear it as I go through it because they're not your typical. The digital delay is super crystal clean. The modulated delay has its own unique spin to it. The dual delay are 2 delays that run in parallel, and if you use the stereo outs, then you really get some interesting sounds from that as well. The vintage delay, of course, has a really great aged sound to it. And a reverse delay, again, is another interesting take on a reverse delay as well. Moving over here, we have a mini toggle and a tweak knob. So you have 3 options with the tweak, because with the tweak allows you to fully extend the amount of tweaking you can do to each delay program, depending where you set it. So for example, if I'm at digital, I have 3 options. I have mod, time, and age to tweak in that digital delay program. And it goes for the same for each of the delay programs. And the tweak knob, along with where you set that, all have their own unique spin on how each sounds. So for example, if I'm on the digital delay program and I set the mini toggle switch to mod, it adds pitch modulation, and fully clockwise gets some extreme pitch modulation when you turn it up, and a little more conservative as you roll it counterclockwise. The tone adds a low-pass filter that basically brightens up the repeats or softens them. And of course, the more as you turn it up, you'll hear the difference in sound. Finally, the age adds a little bit of this bit crusher. And as you turn up the intensity of that on the tweak knob, you'll hear this in just a very cool aged and gritty sound. For the most part, in some of the other settings, like say for dual or vintage, when you use these, it's pretty much a low pass filter along with some high pass filter as well. So it's kind of an EQ on the tone. And if you're set to mod, it also same type of deal with symmetrical pitch modulation with this as well. And as you get to age, it adds the amount of like a little bit of a warm overdrive and a high frequency roll off as you start to turn up the tweak knob. So there's a lot of versatility and just a lot of sounds that you can get just by moving the tweak knob. Before I get to the bottom here, let's talk about the attack knob. It's a dedicated control that sort of acts as a volume envelope to the audio being fed to the delay. So it can soften the attack of the echoes if that's what you want, but as you increase the attack control, it takes time for the signal that feeds the delay to get there. So you can actually get some very interesting, like ethereal, atmospheric type of sounds using this attack knob. But if you're looking for more of the traditional delay sounds, I would roll this back, counterclockwise towards about 9 or 8 o'clock to get more of those traditional sounds. But it's a lot of fun. It allows you to get a lot of interesting sounds when combined with the tweak knob and whatever delay program you're on. The last mini toggle here is the preset switch, which allows you to save up to 9 presets in 3 banks separated by A, B, C. So 3 per bank, 3 in A, 3 in B, and 3 in C. And the way you do that, of course, is if you select the bank you want to be on, and it takes you to the first preset, and simply to get to the next preset, hit both the bypass and tap switch together, allows you to scroll to the next preset, and so on, indicated by color. Red, green, and blue. Finally, there's a bypass foot switch, and then a tap tempo foot switch. Of course, you know what that does. So enough of me talking, let's hear this thing. So here's my guitar sound with the D1 through the effects loop. Take a listen. So right now, I'm on the dual delay, and it sounds a bit like that. And take a listen, as I scroll through each of the programs, you'll hear it sort of it rolls right into it. Take a listen. It'll go from vintage to mod to digital. So you heard the transition, how smooth that is from each delay program. So say if I stick right here on digital delay. Let's try and get more of a traditional delay sound, which I can use with gain. So pull back the repeat a bit. So if I'm on the tone over here, and I'm going to tweak that tone, you'll take a listen how it changes. So it kind of softens the attack a little bit. If I switch it to age, you can hear how it changes the character as well. So you get that little bit of that bit crusher there. And if I go to mod, pull that back. So basically I got that pretty much a traditional, and especially with some gain. So I have that cool delay sound, and watch, if I scroll through the programs, you get to hear that same delay setting and so maybe you may want to adjust it to a different delay. So take a listen. Let's take you through some of the delay programs so you get to hear what you can do between the attack and the tweak knob. So let's start with the interesting reverse delay over here. I'll pull up the mix a bit, add a little more time and repeats. Let's go over to vintage over here. The best way to really get inside the pedal is to start with the presets that it comes with and kind of tweak them to your own taste. So here are a few that I kind of messed around with and came up with some really cool sounds. Let's take a listen. With 5 popular delay programs and endless tweakability thanks to the 3-way mod, tone, and age switch, any ethereal soundscape or delay sound is available at your fingertips. Definitely check it out.